a driver who can't understand English will not drive a commercial vehicle in this country.
What's going on, my truckers? Welcome to Trucking News. Emails at mytrucknews@gmail.com. OOIDA has just put out this release and just asked me to share this. If you did not know, today, Secretary of Transportation, Texas Trucking Association, Todd Spencer from OOIDA, basically we're all there talking about English proficiency. And, you know, I want to fast forward to Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy. He says he's for the truck drivers. He says he wants to push common sense. And he says that, you know, if you do not speak English, then you do not drive a truck in America, right? Second point to that, he brings up truck parking and he brings up freight broker fraud.
At USDOT to improve that for us. And that means looking at critical needs like truck parking, which impacts the lives of truckers every day on the road. There will be more to come on this, but you can be assured that the DOT is committed to helping truckers and trucker safety. From not enforcing English language proficiency to broker fraud to non-domiciled CDLs, it kind of feels like the trucking industry has become the Wild West with a lot of bad actors who have been allowed to play in this space.
So, you know, he wants to get the bad actors out. Just to recap this, Texas Trucking Association states that, you know, since they are a border state, they want to be the first to start streamlining this and really enforce English proficiency.
We share 1,250 miles of U.S.-Mexican border in the state of Texas of the 1,550 miles in the entire country. It's happening in Texas here first, and if we're not taking the lead as partners with our TxDOT Commission, our leadership here in the state with enforcement, then we're not going to get any work done. So we couldn't be any more thrilled not just to be announcing this and critical announcement for the entire country, for the entire North America, quite frankly, right here in our home state of Texas. And Mr. Secretary, we can't thank you enough for the work that you're doing.
Number two, Todd Spencer is talking about how, you know, this is nothing more than about safety. And at the very end, he gives a shout out to America's Truckers United.
OOIDA is advocating for returning English proficiency to the list of serious violations, and we've been calling on federal regulators to restore accountability and focus on real safety. And now, because of this administration's leadership, that's exactly what's happening. The executive order signed by President Trump is a major step forward for safety, not just for truckers, but for every person on the road. Complying with the English language proficiency standards doesn't mean you have to recite an encyclopedia, but it should mean you comprehend routine safety messages. Those can and should be taught in training schools, and tested for English proficiency isn't optional. It's essential and it's required. English language proficiency is required under regulations describing general qualifications for drivers. Unfortunately, there are far too many unqualified drivers being licensed and operated on the road today. In conclusion, again, we want to thank the Secretary, we want to thank the Trump administration, and I need to have a shout out here to Shannon Everett and American truckers for turning a light under this whole issue.
Here is the public announcement.
For too long, misguided policies have prioritized political correctness over safety of the American people. President Trump, if you listen to him, he says that he puts safety first, and he does. He also puts America first as well. That means ensuring that our roadways are safe. The President's recent executive order is a clear statement. We support America's truckers and will safeguard our roadways for our truckers and for the American people. This means enforcing common sense rules and removing unnecessary burdens that hinder our truckers' work. So today, under President Trump's direction, we're going to take action. I'm officially rescinding the reckless 2016 Obama guidance on English language proficiency. We're going to replace it with stronger enforcement procedures. So federal law has always been very clear. Commercial drivers must be proficient in English. English is the language of opportunity in America. allowing drivers who cannot read stop signs or understand police officers' instructions to operate an 80,000-pound big rig threatens the safety of every American on our roadways. There's numerous examples across the country where we've had people who are operating this kind of equipment who can't speak the language, and the results have been devastating and have taken the lives of so many American families. That's going to end right now. Instead, we are issuing new guidance that ensures a driver who can't understand English will not drive a commercial vehicle in this country. Period. Full stop. Enforcing out-of-service violations is about preventing tragedies and saving lives. So in 2015, before President Obama changed the guidance, over 99,000 drivers had English language proficiency violations. So almost 100,000 violations of not speaking English. 1,000 of those drivers were taken out of service. So let's fast forward to 2024. That dropped to 10,000 violations, and 0 were taken out of service for a violation of the English language proficiency. So think about that. That means we have let 1,000 of the worst offenders basically off the hook with a slap on the wrist. That's not going to happen anymore. We're going to put safety first. But the President's executive order on English language proficiency didn't stop there. So in accordance with the President's executive order, DOT is taking additional action. So number one, we're reviewing the security of commercial driver's license. Now this is a state-by-state issue, but we do have a role, and we are reviewing the security procedures around how CDLs are given throughout the states. We're going to review non-domiciled CDLs, and we're going to improve verification protocols for both domestic and international credentials to ensure only qualified drivers are behind the wheel on American roads. The EO also directs the DOT to improve the working lives of truckers, which, by the way, I got to tell you, it's one of the most vocal groups of people I've heard from in my time at DOT. When they have an issue, they know how to use Twitter. They know how to use all social media. I hear from the truckers a lot, and this English language proficiency was one of the big ones. But they've also said the quality of life could be improved. You could help us out at USDOT to improve that for us. And that means looking at critical needs like truck parking, which impacts the lives of truckers every day on the road. There'll be more to come on this, but you can be assured that the DOT is committed to helping truckers and trucker safety. From not enforcing English language proficiency to broker fraud to non-domiciled CDLs, it kind of feels like the trucking industry has become the Wild West with a lot of bad actors who have been allowed to play in this space. We're going to end the play of bad actors, and we are going to support and encourage and prop up the great businesses, the great drivers, the great brokers that make this country work, that move our products, that make sure that we have a supply chain that functions and functions well in this country.